Welcome to the Local Marketing Source Weekly Update, brought to you by localmarketingsource.com.
This week's Local Marketing Update is brought to you by Scott Gallagher. Scott is the co-founder of Local Marketing Source and has become the recognized expert in providing online marketing services to local businesses. Follow Scott on Twitter at ScottGallagher5 and on Facebook.com/ScottPGallagher.
Hey guys, Scott Gallagher here with Local Marketing Source, bringing our weekly local marketing industry update. Now, next week's LMS member call is going to be September 4th at 4 p.m. Eastern. And the LMS membership, it gives you access to our private Facebook group, the portal, as well as being able to come in and ask some live questions. Well, this week, I have decided to get back on camera, but anybody that's watching me right now can tell that I am still dealing with this pink eye, and it's no fun being in front of these lights right now. Making my eyes water and all that, and I look funny, but that's why these sunglasses are going to come in nice. But in any event, we've got a good week this week. We've got a few different things to update and got some good tips to be able to talk to you about. We've got some really exciting tips. I had some fun this morning and kind of got distracted on YouTube. I've been really intrigued with a lot that YouTube has to offer. It's pretty cool. But in any event, this week we're going to talk a little bit more about Google Plus pages for local. And I got to turn my lights off here. Forget about the video. You guys you don't care what I look like, right? You just want to be able to have good content and get through all of this. See how that changes everything on the video. But yeah, we're going to talk about Google Plus pages for local, what's happening right now. There's been some changes over at Bing as well. Bing is saying goodbye to their, to Bing Shopping and Hello Product Cart and Product Search. So how some of those things are going to be different, how we're going to address that. Keyword research in Google. I want to bring this topic up and talk a little bit more about keyword research once again. Some changes with the keyword research tool. Well, it doesn't exist anymore. But more importantly, for marketers, the keyword data not being provided, and we're getting some pretty staggering results as to how much information Google is holding out. And Google has just launched a new report. You can find it in AdWords, but it's going to give you side by side. So anybody that's spending money in both AdWords and organic campaigns, this is going to give you a lot of different side by side comparisons, and it's a great new tool and a great new report that they've got out. Before we move on to that, talking about some of our weekly tips this week for a local business, as I mentioned, I was going to talk about YouTube's video editor. Well, I think it's been out now for a month, maybe not quite that long. I don't know, I could be wrong. It's not really important how long it is. But I've been doing video myself, many different types of videos in different ways for quite some time. And one of the biggest hurdles to creating a video was not actually going out and shooting it and putting the ideas aside is the editing side of it. You really need a good computer to do good editing. You need a good piece of software too. There's a lot of limitations that are out there. And this has been a thorn in my side forever when you start to get into rendering videos. You've got all the different formats, H.264, .mp4, .avi types of videos. You've got Mac world, you've got the PC world. The list just goes on, and video is just, it's not fun. Well, there's a lot of fun about it, but it's just learning all this stuff is very difficult. And so YouTube now has got a built-in editor, and I've been playing with it. It's actually really, really cool. Very user-friendly to utilize, very, very quick. It's operating everything in the cloud. So in theory, you really don't need much. I mean, I was thinking about it today. You can go and buy a Chromebook for 150 bucks. It's got a built-in camera to it. Now you've got everything you need to be able to create videos, broadcast them to hundreds of millions of people. It's staggering. But go and check out their video editor tool. There's a lot that you can do with it. What I really liked about it, and it's very, very advantageous, is something called Creative Commons license. If you're not familiar with Creative Commons, essentially it just means that when content is created and distributed on YouTube, if you don't choose Creative Commons licensing, your distribution is going to be very limited. Creative Commons says, well, anybody can go and use that video anywhere. Well, with that, when you're going and creating your video, built into YouTube's video editor, which of course Google owns, is you get access to Creative Commons content. Well, in other words, every piece of video content on YouTube you could practically use, and it's right there at your fingertips to embed right into your video. It accesses everything on your account in different ways and manages it very well. Creative Commons also extends to audio, so you get access to, I did some searches of some pretty obscure music selections, and guess what? It was found. And not only that, the big thing and the biggest challenge I've had with video editing is sound effects. And I went and bought sound effects one year, and you pay money, you pay quite a bit of money to get different types of sound effects, and they're all right there, easily accessible. All your transition, overlays, captions, all of this stuff is built right into their editor. It's brilliant. It's a very, very good tool. So I do encourage you to go and check that out. For local businesses, video content is very, very important. And creating video content that people are going to like to watch, do go ahead and watch it and gain some value from it, is the type of content that you're going for. And for our agency, I'm going to talk about this in a little bit, but I want to take this to the next level and utilizing YouTube's video editor to get your customers to create content that's going to help you. But before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about our update this week and Google Plus pages for local. God, it's just been a mess. Basically, we are seeing the end of it, the end of the transition for everything that Google has transformed from Google Places to Google Plus Local. All these different types of pages that exist out there, what types of pages are what. Really, at the end of the day, there's going to be one type of page, and that's a Google Plus Local page. And of a Google Plus Local pages, there's two types of pages for Google Plus Local: claimed and unclaimed. That's it. The claimed listings, which we all know about, these businesses are going to get access to all the exact same set of features. These are going to be your social features, your video features, your location, and whatnot. So everybody that's got claimed listings is got in the same playing field. Unclaimed listings, on the other hand, are still up to the algorithm to determine what types of features are included, which could potentially be social features. Very unlikely. Video turned on and whatnot. So you've got these two types of listings. Google is just about completed the full auto merge. It has been pretty much completed in the United States. Have not been finding any businesses that have not. But the transition is still going on internationally. So that's nice that it's finally done. It's kind of like dealing with construction. I was just talking about that with my coworker and having to get around town and all of that. It's kind of like Google. You know, the construction is never going to end. So even though we see an end to it, it's not. Just a quick little update on Bing here. We don't really care too much about Bing, but they are making some changes. They got rid of Bing Shopping. They now have Product Search. The difference is Bing Shopping was in its own separate location on Bing. Product Search is paid placement, advertorial placement, and guess what? They're now showing up on the SERP of Bing, right in the front page. Oof. I don't know how long that's going to last. In other words, they're inserting more sponsored and paid listings in the product. So if you did a product search for, say, my camera, a T3i from Canon, you would be able to buy it right from Bing's page right there. Talking about Google keywords, and as you know, in the keyword research Tools provided by Google. In Google Analytics, when we get some data, we can see what keywords have brought people to our website. And there was a point in time that Google would give us some pretty sophisticated data on this. As time has gone on, Google has been slowly pulling away the amount of information that they share with webmasters. In one sense, they're sharing information like SEO information that they've never shared with webmasters before, but in another sense, they're pulling away keyword data from marketers. And they're starting to recognize that this data is really not relevant. Well, there's a lot that we need to dig into this and really consider and ponder. Keyword research for internet marketers is almost always typically a thorn in their side. It seems to be that keyword research is overcomplicated, in my opinion, on the internet. The amount of education that I've received on keyword research is just uncanny, and the amount of tools that exist out there is just unbelievable. And the amount of data that you can come out and pull through and sift through is just, it's unbelievable. At the end of the day, keyword research is really just achieving one objective, and that's identifying and prioritizing keywords or words or phrases that a typical person would utilize to find your product or service. So there's a lot, you know, we could utilize old school marketing principles and practices. I teach that to my students frequently. You want to find out what your top keywords are for a chiropractor that's in Lake in the Hills, Illinois? Go and start asking real people. That's going to give you a lot more data and a lot more accurate data than Google ever would. But that's despite the point of the argument here, that Google has in the past given us and said, you know, you've gotten 100 new visitors from this keyword and 50 new visitors from this keyword, and as you go down the list. 1 second here. So now Google is saying, well, such a percentage, 30% of your keyword data is quote unquote not provided. And we talk about this not provided number quite a bit. A lot of marketers are very frustrated, disturbed. Search engine optimizers don't like this aspect. To me, it's not that big of a deal. On average, right now, 49% of keywords across the board are not showing, but we could showcase examples that it's hitting as high as 70%. Marketers don't like it because they're not getting the mathematical data that they need to make and interpret and make marketing or business decisions. On the other hand, I still provide the same arguments, that whether it be an e-commerce website, content that's out there that's going on to YouTube, building your website for your local business, it really doesn't matter. Your keywords are going to create or are a part of your company's culture. They fall into your industry jargon. If you are creating content such as a website, a video, title, and just like you utilize in chapter books and whatnot, I'll take this one right here that I'm just showing on the camera that you guys can see it. Titles of a chapter book is like the title of a website, and it's gonna talk about what's inside the book a little bit. And the chapter titles are a little bit more descriptive, but subsectors of that website. In other words, if you're a chiropractor in Lake in the Hills, you're going to utilize the terminology that the industry ultimately is seeking. Either you're going to be a chiropractor that addresses pain, or you're going to be a chiropractor that's in the business of wellness. And so pain-focused chiropractors are going to utilize that type of jargon. They're going to focus on the natural back pain, spinal pain, knee injuries, neck injuries, neck pain. And they're going to create content that's relevant for patients that have neck pain. But on the contrast to that, a chiropractor that's in the business of wellness is going to want to attract patients that aren't there to address their pain, but are there to improve their lifestyle. And this chiropractor is going to create content that is relevant to the wellness sector, such as nutritional supplements and different types of vitamins, and maybe talk about different mental ailments like ADD or depression and OCD or whatever. But the point is that if they went ahead and created content that's relevant for their audience, they're going to have all their relevant keywords embedded into that content anyhow, without having to go out and do all this research and go and get all of this data and then skew their content and then go and try to create content that's got a keyword density ratio of 6.5% to satisfy the needs of the search engine, because some SEO expert told them that it was that number in the first place. And then now every 7 to 10 words, you're getting a keyword injected in, and the reading is, it just sucks. So who cares that Google is not telling us 49%? There's a reason for it, and it's a very positive reason, I believe. Now Google has also launched a new report. It's a side-by-side comparison for both paid results and organic results. It's a neat little report. It shows you how many times the keyword was queried, how many times it was shown, and as well as click-through data. Now, what I found really interesting is on the organic side, they tell you both impressions and click-through, or impressions and position, and click-through rates. So now we can get position CTR on the organic side in comparison to the paid side directly from Google. I don't know if that's a mistake or not, but that information I thought was just unbelievable, and that's what I'm digging into. Not for the purpose of the report, but to be able to have verifiable proof that certain keywords, you know, I can go to my chiropractor and say, look, Algonquin chiropractor, the #1 spot is getting 40% of the clicks. And here's the data specifically from Google right on to their specific account. It's pretty cool. Okay, I'm just going to take 30 seconds here, and then I'm going to come back and we will get into our agency tip of the week. Hey, well, thanks for watching the Local Marketing Industry Update. We've got these things coming out every single week, so if you liked with what you heard, just click the button right above me right here to subscribe to our channel. If you'd like to get a little bit more, right over here, go check out localmarketingsource.com. We've got free reports that you can grab. You can even register for our free marketing course to get in and see the portal. Or just go ahead and follow us on some of the social channels. We'll be around. Until next time.